Who is Adama Barrow long before he became president-elect?
Adama Barrow is a native of URR, constituency, Jimara constituency, village Mankamankunda. Born year 1965, 15 February 1965. Attend Kobakunda Primary School, later Crab Island, later Muslim High School. Work with Musanya and Sons, travel to UK 2002, come back to the Gambia 2006 and set up an estate company called Majum Estate.
Interesting. We are both February borns, although I was born a good 3 years before you were born. I understand you're an Arsenal supporter. We'll come to that if time allows us. But who are some of the contemporaries that you can remember? People you went to primary school with, people you went to high school with, people you started work with?
I can remember primary school. I have a friend called Ibrahim Abah. I will always remember him.
Why do you always remember?
We were classmates. We shared the same table, the same desks. He was the best student in English during our time, and I was the best mathematics student. But when it is time for exams, he'll always want me to help him with mathematics. And when it is English, he will not help me. Then he will come first. I might come second or third.
Maybe he didn't help because you did not ask.
I do ask, but he always refused deliberately. Because he always want to come first. I always remember him. We were very close. At that youth level, we have a football team. He was our football captain, and I was I was the goalkeeper.
Okay.
Yes, I always remember him.
Okay.
And I have a teacher who taught me in school, who was very close to me, called Musa Kejarlo. He was very, very close to me. We end up being close friends. I always remember that man, but he passed away.
May his soul rest in peace. What kind of a child would you say you were? Did you fight a lot when you went to primary school?
I was the cool type. I was a very, very cool child during my youth level. And teachers liked me a lot when I was going to school. Because I can remember even when I was going to Kobakunda Primary School, Musa Jallo and one of our Arabic teachers, I used to go and collect their food every day on a daily basis. Collect their lunch, collect their dinner for them on a daily basis, every day. Teachers liked me a lot.
Okay. How did your love for football begin?
I was a footballer myself. I was playing, I was a goalkeeper. So from that time, I liked the game. And I follow football even in Banjul. I was a strong supporter of Walidan. During the time of Walidan, I can give you the setup.
Okay.
Before the match starts. I can tell you these are the players who are going to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are always on opposite sides. You support Walidan. I've always supported Real de Banjul. You support Arsenal. I support Liverpool.
Okay.
How did you come in love with Arsenal? It's not the best team in the world.
It's not the best team, but it's among the best teams in the world.
Okay.
I love Arsenal because I think it's one of the best teams that play very, very, very good football in this world. You can say anything about Arsenal, but we play good football.
Okay.
And I like the coach Arsene Wenger. He is very, very consistent and he is very, very steady. So I like him for that.
Who is your greatest Arsenal player of all time? Who is this one Arsenal player you will always remember as being somebody who played extremely well for the team?
I have few players that I can remember. Ian Wright is among them.
That's true.
And Thierry Henry. At the heart of our defense, Sol Campbell was very strong in our defense. Because I can remember a football match that Sol Campbell was injured and he came back. He scored 2 goals. The journalist who interviewed him called him, he said, Sol Campbell, what a comeback for a central defender. 2 goals. That was great. I loved that moment.
The Gambia that you were born in, that you grew up in, is it the same Gambia that you recognize even in 2016?
The Gambia I grew in during independence, I think the time of the First Republic was a very nice Gambia. But things changed since 1994. Initially, I supported the change because we wanted democracy. Because the way I was seeing it was incumbency is an advantage. That's why PPP government keep on winning. We wanted change. We thought that they will bring in a very good system so that we have independent people to contest election and our democracy continue. But I was disappointed when the military decided to contest election as civilians. That was the turning point. I said no, that was not what we wanted.
Well, they could have turned civilian and done the right thing. What was the cause of your disappointment? What was the reason for your disappointment?
Well, as we always see in other countries in Africa, I think if the military turned to civilian, it's always difficult for them to 100% accept democratic principles. So I was very, very skeptical. And because they have given their words that they are military with difference, we thought that that difference will continue. So this is where I was disappointed.
Ghana could say Jerry John Rawlings was a different, was a case of where a soldier turned civilian did well. You're saying that did not happen in the case of the Gambia?
It didn't happen in the case of the Gambia. But Ghana also, I think he did some good job, but there are a lot of things that happened. But Ghana, they were matured enough to let it go and let us move on. I think that was the end part of it, and that was good. It helped Ghana.
How did you come into politics? Because usually people who describe themselves as being shy when they were young normally don't end up in politics. And usually when they come into politics, they are such nice guys that they don't make good politicians. How did you come into politics?
As I said, I was disappointed that Yahya Jammeh decided to contest election as a civilian. And this party of UDP came up. It was a very strong party at the time. I believed that they can win elections. I supported the cause because they were strong, but it didn't happen. But I continue with that support, believing that we can bring about change. Because I was a Stooge supporter, everybody recognized me. Even if they are raising funds, they come to my office, I contribute. From 2007, National Assembly elections, everybody wanted me to contest National Assembly, my consequence. And they know that I was a Stooge supporter of UDP. Hussein Dawo called me. It's a national call. We want you to contest elections. This is the way I contested elections. And later, they called me to the executive. I was part of the executive. I was contributing there. I was again nominated to be the, the coordinator for my region, because URD. I was doing that coordinating, and later, Amadou Sane was jailed. He was our treasurer. We had an emergency meeting. At that meeting, Hussein Jajo suggested again he wanted me to be the treasurer. So I took up that responsibility as treasurer. 2016, our convention, that is the convention of the UDP, I was again selected as the chairman organizing committee. We had a very good congress. This is how I came about to this level.
When you contested elections for the first time, what happened? Did you win? Did you lose?
I lost.
If you lost, why did you think you lost?
I lost. I lost because I was not experienced, one, and I lost because there was an advantage of the incumbent. These were the factors. And also, I think the timing also, because I was just 8 months in the country, not experienced in politics, and I was called upon. I was not really prepared.
But when you lost, you accepted your loss in good faith. You didn't contest your defeat in any court.
When I lost, the IEC, the IEC man who was responsible was surprised. I rise up, call upon my opponent, shake his hand, congratulate him. After finishing that congratulation, I gave him a message. We accept you as our National Assembly member. I want you to accept us as your opposition. Whenever you are doing things right, you want our help, we will help you. If we criticize you, accept it. This is national duty. They were very happy. They gave me the police to escort me to my house because of what I did that day. Everybody was happy.
And what was your relationship like with that person since?
We were childhood friends. We went to the same school together. We were brought up together. And we knew each other. But because of incumbency, there were a lot of things happening. But you always accept the will of the people.
Would it be fair to say then that you were disappointed that after you were declared the winner, first the president congratulated you and then came back a week later to retract that congratulatory message he put on television?
I was seriously disappointed. I didn't expect that he will go that far. We thought that he will give a message, not a friendly message, but we didn't expect that the president will say annual elections, because we believe that he doesn't have that authority. So we are seriously disappointed, but we handled the situation with maturity.
Let's go back to that morning of December the 2nd, when you probably knew already that you had won, and you were probably waiting for this call. I mean, what was it like? Did you expect him to call that day? Did you expect any call at all, any concession call?
Before even the 1st of December, I was telling people that if Yahya may lose, he will accept. Because it's the people.
What made you confident he would accept?
This support, people were united, people were ready for this change. So that support was there. So I believe he will respect that. That early morning, because we all knew that what were the results by 3 o'clock, we were anxiously waiting for a call. There were a lot of protocols that were going on. We were patiently waiting. We got a contact through Balagaba Jahumba that the president will call me. The time he was supposed to call me failed, but we were still waiting. That's why I was supposed to give a statement on that day, but it delays me to give that statement because we were waiting until finally we received that call. That gave us a lot of credit on that day, and it was history.
That was positive history. And then, of course, negative history was to follow. How did he get your number?
To my surprise, it was difficult for them to get my number. They have to struggle until they get Uncle Oje Jallo to get my number and call me. Yes.
So he got your number and called you. Do you have his number?
I don't have his number. I didn't find out. I didn't look for it either. But I know if I have lost, I will make all efforts to get his number and call him and congratulate him. Yeah.
And was that the only time he spoke to you? Since he congratulated you, has there been any contact between the two of you?
No contact. That's the only time we spoke on telephone. No contact at all.
So how is the transition going on. In Ghana, we know already that the incoming president has a team that is already working with the outgoing president to ensure a smooth transition. We are all looking forward to the 19th of January. What's happening now?
We already set up our team, but because of that announcement on GRTS, we are on a standstill. But inshallah, a few days to come, the door will open. We have our team. We want government to set up their team so that we move on. Because time is not on our side.
I'll make this my last question. Everybody is anxious to know who is going to be in your cabinet. And maybe 2 or 3 very important positions, people were speculating, at least you would have announced by now. Foreign Minister, because we understand diplomats are coming to you. By now they should have known a person in your team they'll start working with. Finance Minister, obviously, and possibly a Vice President, because in our case it's unique. Gambians did not vote for a particular party candidate. They voted for an independent candidate representing a group of parties. When can we start hearing one by one, say indicate, like Donald Trump is naming one by one, when will we start hearing the cabinet of President-elect Adama Barrow?
Very soon. We have gone very far with it, but we are taking our time, calculating our steps, doing a lot of consultation, and we want a very good composition. That's why it is dragging a little bit, but inshallah, very, very soon, we'll have a cabinet.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Just on a final note, commiserations, Walidan are in the 2nd division, Real de Banjul are still in the 1st division. Arsenal is below Liverpool. So it's not a very good year all round for you. Where do you think Arsenal will finish in the Premier League?
I believe Arsenal is very strong this year. It's just that these last 2 matches, we didn't do well, but we will pick up. Inshallah, we'll be in the first 4, for sure, always. Okay. As always it is. Yes.
The President-elect, thank you very much for this interview.